I am the clock tower on Central Square in a small town in Massachusetts. I've been here for 87 years, watching generations pass beneath my tower. My hands have marked weddings, graduations, passionate encounters, and lonely goodbyes. There's something curious I've noticed over the decades. The more people try to control time, the less of it they seem to have. I first saw this with Mr. Thompson, a methodical business owner who arrived every day at 7:32 a.m. to open his store. He was always saying, "Time is money," while checking his wristwatch religiously, synchronizing it with me. Mr. Thompson had a meticulous schedule. He calculated even the minutes for his meals. He had productivity apps and alarms for everything. Yet, I constantly heard him complain, "I don't have time for anything." How can someone who controls time so tightly feel like they don't possess it? For years, I followed Mr. Thompson's routine. While my hands moved at the same pace as always, he accelerated. He bought a faster smartphone, hired an assistant, started eating lunch in 15 minutes. "I'm optimizing my time," he would tell Mrs. Betty from the bakery. She would just smile, continuing at the same speed as always, kneading the bread dough as her grandmother had taught her. One afternoon, I saw Mr. Thompson sitting on a bench in the square, exhausted, looking up at me with lost eyes. "How is this possible?" he murmured. "I organize every minute of my day, and yet it seems like time slips through my fingers." From my elevated position, I wanted to shout the answer, but I'm just a clock. My gears don't produce words, only mark seconds. And seconds make no distinction between those who control them and those who live them. Mr. Thompson started taking sleeping pills. His daughter visited on Sundays, but he was always finishing something from work. He said he would have more time for her later. That later seemed never to arrive. One day, a university professor sat beneath my tower with her students. They were having an outdoor psychology class. I heard when she explained, "This is called the Temporal Scarcity Paradox. The more we value and monitor time, the scarcer it appears to be." It was as if my gears finally clicked into place. What I had been observing for decades had a name. When we transform time into a resource to be optimized, it becomes a commodity that never seems sufficient. The professor continued, "Studies show that people who constantly time their activities experience greater time-related anxiety. It's like squeezing sand in your hand. The tighter you hold, the more it escapes between your fingers." Mr. Thompson, who was passing by at that moment, slowed his pace. I noticed he was paying attention, even while pretending to look at his phone. In America, we've intensified our relationship with time since the Industrial Revolution. The phrase, "time is money," originated with Benjamin Franklin, and it's deeply embedded in our culture. But this wasn't always the case. Native Americans and early settlers had a more elastic relationship with time. It was more lived than counted. In the following weeks, I noticed a change in Mr. Thompson. He started arriving at 7:40 instead of 7:32. One day, he lingered over breakfast. On another, He spent the entire afternoon talking with old friends on the square bench, without checking his watch once. The paradox revealed itself in other people too. The young mother who scheduled quality time with her children while checking emails on her phone. The student who divided each hour between different subjects and ended up absorbing none. The couple who scheduled dates with start and end times, losing the spontaneity that had brought them together, all prisoners of the same illusion. That time can be dominated, dissected, optimized, that efficiency is synonymous with fulfillment. But Mrs. Betty, the baker, continued at the same rhythm. Her bread was made unhurriedly. Customers entered her bakery and time seemed to slow down. She lived in time, not against it. On a Sunday afternoon, the unthinkable happened. Mr. Thompson turned off his phone during lunch with his daughter. They talked for hours, laughed, cried. When they left the diner, they walked past me and he didn't even look up to check the time. In the months that followed, the transformation was remarkable. He remained an efficient businessman, but now reserved moments to simply exist, to sit beneath my tower and look at the sky, to greet people by name, not just with hurried nods. As a clock, my function is to measure time in precise and equal units. But I've learned, by observing humans, that lived time is not the same as counted time. Each second on my hands is identical to the previous one, but each second in your lives can have the depth of an ocean or the shallowness of a puddle. Perhaps true wisdom lies not in controlling time, but in allowing yourself to be traversed by it. Not in accumulating more productive hours, but in fully living the ones you have. From up here, I see hurried people passing by every day. I would like to tell them, I am neither your enemy nor your master. I am just a marker. Who gives meaning to what I mark is you, and as my hands continue their eternal cycle, I leave a question for you who now reads me. Is time escaping from you, ... or are you escaping from time?